citizens of the world. This message is one of great urgent matters that affects everyone in every nation around the world. We are anonymous. This is an emergency warning about a plan for a nuclear war, and we must stop this. Expose it by sharing this information as much as possible. As we have been warning about the now CIA-controlled WikiLeaks before, now they have progressed. They changed their DNS information to portray 2 of their IP addresses as being in the Russian Federation. Since we know that WikiLeaks is 100% CIA-controlled, any change to DNS or domain registrar information is cause for investigation. Changing DNS information is nothing sinister in and of itself. If ISPs are changed, or physical location is moved, or servers are added or subtracted, are just some of the normal reasons one might change their IP and DNS. However, in this case there is something much more sinister going on, even worse than just lying to the world and pretending to be an organization that was taken over and no longer exists in order to get away with evil. The IP address is 141.105.65.11. and 141.105.69.239, which are listed as owned by ConnectNet, with locations in Moscow, Russia, are actually physically located in Australia. Again, nothing sinister in and of itself, but when tied in with more, and there is much more, things start to look pretty dark. WikiLeaks' first IP, Creston, Virginia. Another change was the addition of a company called Mirtelemetiki Limited as the Russian owner of IP address 141.105.65.113, which also trace routes to Australia, but appears to place WikiLeaks servers in Moscow. The other Norwegian and Dutch addresses are pretty much unchanged and actually refer to the real locations, so I am not mentioning them at all. So someone controlling WikiLeaks at the CIA is trying to give WikiLeaks a Russian connection. This is obvious, but why? Here is where the story really starts to get scary. The off-circuit security teams started investigating further, and an old laboratory white hat from way back when, a hacker's hacker if you will, and someone we all admire, we meaning those who know of this person, made a frightening discovery about one of the files on WikiLeaks. Actually there were several, but his was the worst and is still being investigated, and which I will get into in a minute. One of the OG Anon people immediately became alarmed when they noticed that WikiLeaks is using off-site storage, and in this case a hive, which is something they have never done before and which we are also investigating, as it is not what it appears to be. One of the big discoveries was related to this hive and various code hidden in the innocuous-looking PDF file, which is supposed to be instructions for working with the hive, but again this is not too sinister until you put all the pieces together. The next piece of the puzzle involves the Vault 7/8 releases. As John Robles, a former WikiLeaks associate, has shared and stated, he is 100% certain WikiLeaks is completely under CIA control, and the off-circuit security teams stay as far away from WikiLeaks and the Vault BS as possible. We have warned many new Anons and explained why the collective do not promote the fake free Assange shit, and how WikiLeaks is responsible for the death and imprisonment of fellow anonymous members. To support Assange and WikiLeaks and their Vault leaks makes you a shill, a fake, or an idiot that still believes the government assets narratives that we are dumb kids and or Russian hackers, or QAnon, or terrorists. They have literally used every name in the book to discredit us, even the homophobic, racist, white supremacy, Nazi, xenophobic fake hacker narrative. None have worked, and we have exposed the many that have tried. Every asset we have doxed and exposed their ties to intelligence agencies and operations they are in. So again, fuck you Stacy. And fuck you your Anon karma. Trying to discredit 20 years of our intel gathered and claiming we are Russian, exposed yourselves again. Even if we were Russian, I think the people of the world would not care, because we exposed the enemy of humanity. You tried to discredit it while exposing nothing yourselves. Only starting in a fighting and creating distrust in our family. The definition of division. You are the enemy because there's only us and them. And you sure as shit not with us then you're against us, and you choose the side of that line of division you drew in the sand. Traitor to humanity. You should have expected us. And so one must ask themselves why WikiLeaks is presenting these programs and using a hive and telling people to verify version numbers and such in the directories on their comps etc., when this is supposed to be about journalism and exposing the CIA. Normal journalists do not have the coding skills or the forensic computer programs and equipment, let alone the knowledge, to take these programs apart and see what they really do. So like I have been saying for over a year, it is all a bunch of TikTok bullshit. Or is it? The penultimate piece of the technical puzzle is the Hive repository and the files, with such names as Honeycomb and Ilm Client. Hives, Honeycomb, Bees, TikTok, Honey Trap Boom. The files in the repository basically allow the CIA to access everything you have or do on your computer, Wi-Fi and all your connected devices and gather them into the proper directories which you may not even see and which may be hidden on, for example, the Windows install partition, which normally no one worries or even knows about. I have perhaps said too much already because I do not want them to know how good or bad we are nor what we know, so in the classic cat and mouse of hacking and computer security I will not go into too much detail and will cut to the chase. The final piece of this TikTok is a file infected with a new virus, new malware. That is something that our white hats have never seen before. One of the things it does is install security certificates on your comps or devices, giving it whatever privileges it desires, and installs certificates to get around every antivirus or anti-malware program except Kaspersky Labs, meaning Kaspersky would be the only program to see this threat, a fact from which we can ascertain that this is why they have been kicked out of the US government sector. The malware in question does many things and I am not at liberty to say all of them yet. With the vault files and the other pieces in place, the attack is so complex and involved that an entire team is still trying to figure it out and will probably only have an answer in a few days. Here is what I can say: the file we have looked at is a backdoor bot that no one has seen anything like before. It installs hidden magnetic links, meaning the upload processes to CIA or wherever, uses the torrent system, which explains why we still have it, and other peer-to-peer protocols, and can rewrite itself, rename itself, and targets almost all mobile and PC systems. It is new and thus has no name yet, but I have suggested calling it Kolia, after the Nazi apologist Kid, a long story. Our only advice right now is do not download or even open anything from WL, even a text file, and delete anything you downloaded from WikiLeaks since October 16, 2016, when it was taken over. You have unknowingly downloaded and installed CIA malware on your own computers, and this along with all of the switches in Russian computer systems that Agent Edward Snowden has been installing for years, even giving the NSA/CIA access to, I believe, the entire Moscow CCTV network, will allow them to do almost whatever they want, remotely and from the shadows like they always do. Now the boom part. This is my own conclusion and I would hope I am wrong, but unfortunately I have not been so far. As we do not know what exactly we are dealing with, it is early to give a definitive answer as to what it will do exactly, but my scenario is as follows. Given the propaganda that the US government has pushed that WL and hackers and hacking are the same as terrorism or military attacks, the entire package looks like a platform which will give the CIA the fictitious massive cyber attack from Russia that they dream about and will use to start their long-planned World War III. The package explains the ridiculous insistence on debunked claims of Russian interference in US elections and the like, which I know for a fact are lies because we know exactly who delivered the Clinton, Bodes 2 and DNC files. If the CIA has created a doomsday cyber attack weapon and can create a Russian attack scenario by infecting half the world's computers with malware and then one day triggers it, causing untold havoc worldwide, will the world be that upset if the US uses its self-declared right to a preemptive nuclear strike on Russia? Will anyone stop them? Knowing what I know, the scenario is not only possible but frighteningly likely. I want to underline that I hope I am wrong. Please spread this far and wide. If the world knows in advance, we may be able to stop the lunatics who are working night and day to ensure their new world order and our destruction. Stay tuned and stay awake. We have been warning you for years about something like this. All TikToking ends in boom. They have been warning us. We are anonymous. Operation Death Eaters fully engaged. Ghost app.